chickens, how are we all today? It's Angela, of course, and here for a little video for you today again. Today I have been going through my paper stash that I use for the little ladies journal. This happens with every journal where you end up with a lot of scrappy bits. I love to challenge myself to use those to make something really creative for our journal pages. So I'm going to share that with you today. And then of course I was trying to tidy up my junk mail mailers, and I thought that I would show you what I'm going to do with those. All right, so you want some junk mailers. It doesn't matter if they're narrow, like these, this way. It doesn't matter if they've got windows or not. It doesn't matter if it's those wider ones. I will show you how to do the same thing with both of these. So grab some of those. I know you've got them. All right, then paper scraps. You know those bits where you've got funny sizes left over. I make circles, and there's nothing really that I can do with this except what you know, come up with my scrap ideas. So this is another one of those. Then I've got this sheet of paper which I've cut a bit off. I'm going to use this as well, and that's what we're going to do. I've got some bits and pieces here. So I've got some fabrics from my fabric bundles, lace from the lace bundle. I've got a few of the paper mulberry flowers and ones that we made out of the seam binding together. I've got a piece of seam binding here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Taking a couple of my sentiments, I have backed them onto some fabric. I've got some that are plain, little butterfly, and just some bits and pieces for decoration really. All right, so you want to have those things. As you know, I like to keep mine in these sort of containers. So, and here's some more. So for me, I just take these to my desk, I look what I want, and there you go. And then they all go back into my stackable basket, into my shelf, and it's put away in 5 minutes flat. So if you don't have a lot of time, then I go and recommend you go and have a look at my storage suggestions in my latest 2023 journal craft room tour, and that will help you with that. Okay, so let's get started. Right, now I'm going to start off with this piece of paper just here. I'm going to show you what to do with a narrow envelope, and then I'm going to show you what to do with a wider one like that. All right, now with the wider one, let's start with that. I won't cover this, well, we can actually. I just don't want it to take too long. I want to cover the front. Now it's just a case of whether you want to do this in one piece, which is easy. You might want to use the window. If that's the case, then I'd suggest you get your pencil, put the piece of paper directly onto the edges there, and then just see where that window is, mark it out and draw around it and cut it out. All right, so that's what we're going to do here. But with this one, once it's cut, say that's covered now, because I won't have time to do them all, I would then take this and cut this directly in half this way. Okay, now the opening is there when I opened it, and I would then just take this and cut this directly in half. You can do this beforehand if it's easier for you, and then cover it. Right, so you've got 2 half envelopes. All right, so that's the way I would use these. I'm going to make pockets with these, and I'd use them like that then. All right, so your opening is there. I'd just glue that one closed, that side. All right, so that's what I do with that. I'm going to show you how I go about doing a thin one, because that's the one I'm going to use today. Got my favorite Specsavers envelope with the light green backing. They have sent me a reminder, so I like about 6 reminders before I go, so I get 6 of these envelopes. That's the way to get envelopes that you like. I'm terrible, I know. Right, get your piece of paper again. Let's do this all in one, and we're going to cut this in half as well. So what I'm going to do first of all is just mark out the edge here. So I'll just put it up a little bit. I'm just showing you for a change how I go about this. If you haven't seen me do this before, I usually cut the pieces out beforehand. Right, that's the edges for what I'm going to need afterwards. I'm going to fold this piece of paper behind, but I want to just etch out the window quickly. So I get it in place here. I hold it with my hand, get it in place, and then it moves. You can clip it you know, but I don't. Right, now I'm just looking here and on here, and I can see it's there. And you can make this wider or narrower. I tend to make it slightly narrower. If the line is there, I tend to go a little bit over, so there, just to make sure I haven't got any of that window sticking out. All right, so those are my 4 areas. I then go, and it's easy with this paper because it's lined. So yeah, it's easy. Now just use your pencil, and if you're not feeling confident, then try on something like lines or checks or something that can give you a gauge as to whether you're doing this straight. Now it doesn't matter if you're going beyond the line at this point, because you've got an eraser to rub out what you're not going to need. Right, so let's look at it from below, so I can just gauge the gaps here are pretty much even. All right, so there we go. Then I just want to take my knife and cut it out. All right, so there we go. Now you've got your window here. Keep that, you never know what you can make little tags with those. And then just take your eraser and rub out the pencil marks. Okay, so there we go. Now we should be able to cut this out along the length here. So I'm only going to do it as long as the envelope is. All right, so that's there. So let's get that right. And again, I've got lines, so it's nice and easy. I must tell you, the weather is rainy today, and as I told you last time, I'm happy to live in the fridge. It's much easier to keep warm for me, I think, than it is to keep cool. Right, so I've got that there. I'm going to stick this onto this here. I'm going to use my glue stick because no, let's not do that. I'll use the Bailey Arts because I won't stitch this one. So just going to go around, and probably easier on your actual envelope. So let's just go around and stick this all over. And we want to get this stuck down, so just go to the edges like that. Check that, you see it's matching your window perfectly there, so that's what we want. Press that down with your hand, and then I'm just going to take my that lifted all the glue onto the paper there, that's fine. Right, this one has got an opening over here, but I'm going to stick this down, so I'm going to just do it here where I can see where the flap is, but sometimes I like to use the flap for a flip out. Right, we want to just stick that down. There we go. Okay, now I want to just fold this paper over. Now you're not really going to see the back too much, but you will see it. So it's not the focus point by any means. So I'm just going to take this and fold it over. There we go. So there's that. Now you got that little bit over there, and that's all right. You can just take, get my tray here and just look for another scrappy bit, the length of my envelope really. So let's just look for one. There we go, that one's all right. And then I'm just going to stick this on the edge here. So how long do I need it? I need it that length. I'm going to stick that over. Right, so I'm going to take the glue stick here for speed of the job. There we go. Get that stuck down. Now this would make an absolutely fabulous mass make. To do this with all your scrappy bits, you can even collage your pages with the scraps. You know, don't be limited to having big pieces. Do the front and do the back, and take all the mailers and stock them like I'm going to show you now. And they don't need to be decorated either, because what I'm going to do with them today, it does not require any decoration other than what we've got here. So there we go. So that's all done, and you can go then and do a little bit of your distress ink. So you've covered this whole thing just like that. All right, so now all I want you to do is to cut this in the middle somewhere, not exactly in half, but I'm going to do it just about there. Yeah, so I'm just keeping it straight, and I'm going to cut it. You can use your scissors. All right, now you now have two pockets that are covered on both sides, and I'll show you what we're going to do with them. They are closed all around, and that's the opening there, and of course you can distress that section as well, and that is what I would suggest you store. I'll show you what I'm going to do with these. This one doesn't have a window, and that's absolutely fine. They don't all need to have windows, but doing this and storing these is a great way to use up those mailers, and I'll show you what we're going to do, and you're going to love this. All right, now I have done some with green, and I stitched around these, so I've done that there, and that had the back, and I just added a piece in there, but I actually prefer it with this torn piece on. All right, so that's there. So you can say, Angela, that's very boring, but yes, of course it doesn't end there with me. I want to do something with it, and what I'm going to do is what I'm going to show you now. All right, so make yourself a pile of these with all your scraps, and you can't go wrong. These are going to make fabulous pockets. Now you don't have to cut all of them directly in half. If you've got some that don't have any windows, or some that with windows, you can actually cut it diagonally so that you have a slanted pocket if that's what you want to do. All right, so there's that. Now what I want you to do is go and collect some more scrappy bits. So I've gathered some here, you know, these smaller bits. I've taken this from one of the images from my mini pages, and I have also taken some, this is just very thin cardstock, but it's craft color, right? So I had a piece I used for a project the other day, and this is there. I had a smaller piece as well, which is this small strip. So we are going to do something with these now, along with all these scrappy bits and all these other short scrappy bits that you have. All right, so what I want you to do is again gather two paper clips. All right, so I've got one here, and then I'm going to use these are smaller ones, but I do have bigger ones, so whichever you feel. I think the thinner ones work better for this, if I'm honest. These are just 1.25 inches, so you're looking at, what is that, 3 centimeters. Okay, so fold your craft stock in half. This one is 3 inches wide, so 7.5 centimeters, and it is just short of 8 inches. 8 inches, just short of 8 inches, so you're looking at 20 centimeters. All right, but it doesn't really matter what size it is. This one was smaller because it was a smaller scrap. So this one is 5 inches by 1.5 inches, so you're looking at 3.7 centimeters by 12.5 centimeters. Okay, fold it in half and put your little paper clip on there. Okay, and the same with this one. We'll do these in tandem. Right, got my little scrap here. I'm going to do what I did the other day, and I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac. Now I have just filled it with other, so I'm hoping that it's all right to go. I haven't used it since. Now what I want to do is I want to stick that down there with a paper clip in the middle. All right, and your opening is over here. All right, so just get that onto your piece of paper like that. Get it well covered. All right, and then this is just a scrap, so I haven't measured it out yet, but you can trim around it if you want. Don't have to. and then make sure that paper clip is as far down against this paper piece in the middle here. Now you can use any paper, it doesn't need to be craft paper. Go and use the paper that you print to do your test pattern on or something like that. You know, as long as it's a piece of paper, we're good to go. Right, I'm going to put this on the top here. I might trim it, I might not. I hope it's long enough. It might need a bit of a trim. Didn't really check it out properly. Yeah, it's a bit long, but I can trim that. Okay, so we're covering the top now. Yeah, and of course you don't want these sides to glue, and I've got it a bit long there, and that's fine. I'm going to just trim that straight across like that and wipe my scissors while I'm at it. Okay, right, so we've got that one. And I'm going to just, oh, it's got some ink on it, so that's okay. Lightly just ink that on both sides. So there we go. Really quick. Okay, and then on this one here, I've got another scrappy bit. Here we go. I've prepared this one already and trimmed it. This is the one with the gold and the blue. I think this one fits. I think I measured it. I didn't want to spend too much time trimming and measuring whatever. I just wanted to show you how I do it once. Right, so there we go. I'm going to put this again, paper clip in the middle, make sure it's pressed down, and then get your favorite glue on. You can't sew these, so make sure it's a strong glue. Yeah, and get that all over there. Now I love this idea. I started off making these last night, and I sort of just developed into other things, because then I thought, well, how am I going to use that? What do I want to use it for? And then my mind was spinning, and I've got quite a few ideas to share with you. So I hope this is not too long, this video. I hope you're all well and everybody is having fun, relaxing, crafting, and the weather's treating you well. It's definitely, I'm working on the Christmas kits now, so yeah, I might look like I'm having a rest, but I'm not. Right, I think I've distressed that already, and that's already trimmed to size, so there you go. Yes, I'm going to decide I'm going to use this like this at this side. My paper clip is over there, and this one I'm going to do the other way. The paper clip is over there. All right, I did do that both sides, yes. So I've just gathered a couple of these scraps, and I'm not going to spend too much time distressing them. Just a little bit here and there. Right, just various colors of the blue. I want to just get that there, and I've cut this out with my Gemini scalloped circle 2 die. Because I can't find this other circles. I keep saying that, and I honestly cannot. Since I moved craft rooms, they disappeared, and I thought they'd fallen behind my my die cut machine, but they had not. So it's a mystery. I don't know if you have things like that you think, oh, what's happened to that, and you're never to be seen again. The funny thing is, I bought another set, and I don't know where that is either. So that is strange. Right, I don't know how I'm quite doing this, but something like that. I just want to arrange these. I think I'm going to go for that. So let's get this one down first. I'll just use my Bailey Arts. Loving this glue. Right. So all these scrappy bits come from my tray because they're all to do with this kit. And that makes it really easy when I'm looking for things. Of course, I do put my past scraps, which aren't many really, from past kits, into those popper envelopes that I send my kits out in, with the label on. So I always, if I'm looking for vintage pages or something that I can use with this, then it's all nicely labeled and easy to find. I don't throw everything in one big scrap box. Right. So we've got this like this. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, I want to put this on the top there. I want to just make sure I have got, yeah, that's there. And I'm going to put this on the top there. Now, think, Angela. I've got this little die cut. This is from my little ladies mini journals. I love these little compositions that are created here. And I'm going to stick this at the bottom. That's my intention. I have a little butterfly which I want to stick at the top, and I did have, oh, I think I've used it on the other one. I used a bit of the cheesecloth underneath there, and then I've got be a unicorn in a field of horses. I love this. All right, so I've grabbed my crocodile and a little blue eyelet. Now those are the small ones from Memory Keepers, and on this side these are, just trying to make it a little bit in there. I'm going to put that in there. We are memory keepers. That one, I want to see what is it, keepers, and I'm going to just get that. Here we go. Right, okay, so we've got that in there, and I thought I'd take a little scrap of seam binding, and I'm going to just thread that through there and make the tiniest little knot, not a bow, just a little bunny ears knot. Get the knot bit on the top like that, and then my long gold scissors, I'm going to just give it a tweak like that. Little bunny ears, right, and I'm just arranging that there. I wanted that there. A little bit of cheesecloth. So this I dyed in a tub of tea, and if you want to see how I do that, I have a video on it in a playlist called How to Make a Simple Journal. And if you're new to journal making, go and have a look. I'll put the link in the description box for that playlist. I've put all my videos in there from my own perspective, telling you how I go about putting a simple journal together, and that starts with how I go about planning it, how I gather things, my sort of thought processes, tea staining, sewing on paper, you know, sewing in your signatures, all sorts of things. Tea staining is on there as well. Right, before I press that, I'll fall over. Okay, now you can put a little pearl on there. I did put them on my desk here, but that's the sort of front section. Now on the back, just turn it over. All right, and then over here is where I have taken some of that fabric from the fabric bundle for the little ladies. I've stuck on this lovely Coco Chanel quote, and I'm going to stick that just there. All right, so we've got that. Going to just cut these little extra bits off because they will end up coming off. Right, and then I'm going to just take one of these little goodies. They come from here, from the Ultimate Bundle, and if you haven't had an Ultimate Bundle for this yet, I have put more in the shop, so you can go and get the Ultimate Bundle, the ribbon, the fabric, the crinkle ribbon, or any of those lacy kits are in there. Okay, so I think that's enough for here. I quite like that, and then we've got that over there, so there's that one. On this one, I'm keeping it pretty short and sweet. I'm going to take, this is the paper clips on the right here. I've taken Precious Little Girl here, put it on another piece of the fabric, and I'm going to stick that on here. So this is for the smaller ones, and that's why I say if you've got these scraps of paper and you've got a couple of paper clips, then go and make just these bases. The decorating can come later when you decide what it is, or where, you know, which journal theme or where you're adding it. But using up those scraps to do this kind of thing is, you're halfway there, aren't you? You can just have a whole afternoon of it. Right, I think I'm going to take a little cream one over here, and I'm going to just cut off one of these, and I do love using these just for this purpose. And I'm going to stick that down as well. And then we're finished with that side. And then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with all of this, which is the exciting part. Right, let's get that there. Got that there. And now on this side, I'm just going to take the paper flowers. I'm going to stick this paper flower. Now you can sew them all together, but because of the way I'm layering this, I don't need to today. So just get your Fabri-Tac all glued up here, and you're going to stick that straight like that. These came from Etsy, the shop that I told you about. They're called mulberry flowers, mulberry paper flowers. This one I'm going to just, here's the middle again, I'm just going to angle it so you've got the other petals sticking out. And then these little goodies that we made with the seam bunning, which I love. Now if you've got a flower punch, you can cut out petals that way, or die cut. You don't have to have these. I don't have those petals dies, but you know, that's another way you can do that. Right, so we've got that there, and we've got that there. Right, let's clear the decks. I was going to put this lace over here. I was, but clearly not anymore. Now you can go and lift it up, but it doesn't have to have lace. Right, so we've got these like this, and we've got some kind of ephemera here as well. I'll just show you quickly. I've got my large tag. I've cut this from my mini pages that come with the journal pages, and then these are actually cut from my envelope from the mini journal. So let me show you here. That was the page I used. I took this envelope, and I have cut that out of there and that out of there, because you can. Those are what I use to decorate these up. So I mean, I'm using this for a purpose now. Again, in my large journal, you can do the same with that. All right, now want to just grab my journal here quickly. We've got tags, we've got these little goodies, and I've also made two in the green. So I've got this little one here. Oops, let's just pull that off. Thank heavens for little girls in the green, with a green polka dot, and on the back I've just put a little collage, those little stamps, one of those little goodies from I think that's from my ephemera kit, and then that's from the mini journal like I just showed you. I've got a couple of different ones. All right, so we've got a green one, and then this one I did put some lace on. I've also used, I think it's the other side of this mini page, I've cut out the girl, done the same thing as I've just shared with you now, and I put on some of the green lace, and on the back here I've used this fabric. All right, lovely little quote from Frances Hodgson Burnett, and she's the Little Woman author. Okay, so we've got those. Now what I want to do is show you. So if I take this one here, and I'm going to go to the back over here, just this other side of this paper. Now you can actually do it on your bag, that would also work, but I'm just going to take it over here. I'm not sure if it's going to stay here, but we'll see. And what I thought I would do is I would use the green one, I think. So we've got the green one over here, and what, again, it's going to slide onto our page. So just at that point, just open it like that, slide it onto your page like that, where the paper clip is, yeah, and you are now able to put anything you like behind that. So you might want to put in, let's see, one of these wider tags like that, and it's going to be a nice tuck spot, so your piece of ephemera will stay in place, and it's decorating both sides of your page. All right, so there's the one. Okay, that's the one idea. I can't remember which piece of ephemera I'm putting in where. All right, so that's the one idea, like that, or you can just have it like this, and you know, decorate your page like that, but that's removable, so that's great. Then on another side, and just find another little spot for you. Okay, so let's do this on this bag over here. So I'm going to go with the blue one now. I'm going to take this blue floating pocket, we're going to call it now. All right, I'm going to put a piece of ephemera in there. So let's see which one will work. Will it be this one or this one? I think this one, like that. Now, as I said, you're going to keep this pretty plain. I just need to get that in there, like that. That's perfect, the little lady and the dog. Now, you can put it on here. And the way we're going to attach that is to take our little small one, all right? Now, this one's going to go over here. So we're going to just keep it in place by sliding that over there. Yeah? So that keeps your pocket in place. You can move it up a little bit more, of course. Yeah, I think maybe a little bit further down is probably better, like that. There you go. Now that pocket is now in place there, and it's removable. So you can write on the back of that pocket, you know, you can just pull that out like that, write on the back there as well, and slide it back in there. Something like that. Now you can put your die cut flowers on there as well if you want. So there's another idea. So there's those two. Now I might move those. Oh, the other thing I thought was, if you didn't want to make your own, look how lovely that looks on that side. Just amazing. I like that. Right, so you've got this one over here. All right, that's lovely. You've got this beautiful flower wrapping round from there, from this. And then the other thing is, I've taken one of the envelopes from the mini journal. Now, all you need to do with this is, I'm going to make it into a pocket, not an envelope. So I've folded all the lines there. I'm going to put some glue. No, let's start here. This flap here, we want to glue that down. So let's just do that first of all. Glue that straight down there. This one you put glue on the top, right? And this one, you can do that, and you can put glue on the top of this as well. And you close that all up. Now you've got your pocket over here. Okay. Just run my finger there just to make sure the glue. Now you've got a beautiful double-sided pocket. You can put it either side you like. And you can add that instead of this kind of thing. You can add this. Or the girl, maybe the girl. There we go. All right, so, and you can put a tag in there as well. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm just giving you a couple of ideas. Okay, so I did go ahead and put on some little die cuts there, and that's really just prettied that up. So we've got that little floating pocket there, and this gorgeous one here. On this one, I'm not sure if that's where I'm going to exactly keep it, but for the moment it's here, and it's floatable, so we can put whatever we want. So I've got this little piece of ephemera, and I'll just put that in there. So we'll just slide that on there like that. All right, or on the other side, it's up to you. And then on this one over here, I've got this one here, and I've put on some of the die cuts there. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna, what's on this side of the page here. Yeah, we can put that on there, or we can put it on this one over here. So let's do that. It'll have to go on this side. But again, I'm not sure if this is where it's going to stay, but it's where it's going for the moment. So let's just put it on here, and then we want to just get that round the edge there. Probably easier to put that on first, and then this. Move that a little bit down. Okay, so we've got that one there, and that's what it looks like there. But as I say, that might not be its forever home. I might end up moving it onto this page. So there we go. And then on the blue one, I've got this page here. A girl should be two things: who and what she wants. Coco Chanel, definitely Coco. Right, so I thought I'd put that on here. And again, you can just slide it on. That's why I'm calling it a slider, because it goes up and down. Slides on. And here's the little teddy bear tag, and I'm going to just put that in there. You can put it in here or on the other side of the page, of course, it doesn't matter. And there we go. So that's what we did today. I hope that you've enjoyed that, and I hope that you go and get out all those mailers and go and try this with all of them. Make a whole stack of these to hang on to, because these are great to add in any spare spot that you have in your journal, and because they're floatable, you know, with these attachments, you can do whatever you choose. And here's another one, as I did from the mini journal. All right, everyone, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Go and give this a go. Thank you so much for following along with me and for all your wonderful comments and support. It's so motivating and encouraging to hear what you think about all of these ideas. It keeps me motivated to share some more with you. So I am grateful. Right, I'll see you on Friday. Take good care of yourselves. May the weather be good to you, and sending you all a great big hug. Bye-bye.